To our very dynamic and competent professor, Ma'am Nerissa M. Beatriz, to my classmates who are virtually present today, good morning. My name is Melanie D. Marquez from Pili East District, and I'm here to discuss with you the different theories of intelligence in psychology. This is a continuation topic in cognitive theories. So in my session, we will be able to know the definition of intelligence and the different theories of intelligence in psychology. Let me first share with you the definition of intelligence. So what is intelligence? When we hear the word intelligence, ang unang pumapasok sa isip natin is the concept of IQ testing. The concept of intelligence has been a widely debated topic among members of psychology community for decades. What is intelligence? Intelligence has been defined in many ways. It includes higher level abilities such as abstract reasoning, mental representation, problem solving, and decision making. This is also the ability to learn, emotional knowledge, creativity, and adaptation to meet the demands of the environment effectively. So there are so many ways by which intelligence has been defined, but let us consider the definition given by Robert Steinberg. He defined intelligence as the mental abilities necessary for adaptation to, as well as shaping and selection of, any environmental context. Next, what is the historical background in our understanding of intelligence? The study of human intelligence dates back to the late 1800s when Cesar Francis Galton, the cousin of Charles Darwin, became one of the first people to study intelligence. Galton was interested in the concept of a gifted individual, so he created a lab to measure reaction times and other physical characteristics to test his hypothesis that intelligence is a general mental ability that is a product of biological evolution. You can see there the influence of Charles Darwin. Galton theorized that because quickness and other physical attributes were evolutionarily advantageous, they would also provide a good indication of general mental ability. Okay, so let's consider the theories. Some researchers argue that intelligence is a general ability, whereas others make the assertion that intelligence comprises specific skills and talents. Psychologists contend that intelligence is genetic or inherited, and others claim that it is largely influenced by the surrounding environment. Let us look at the theory by Charles Spearman. He calls it two-factor theory. Charles Spearman was an English psychologist, established the two-factor theory of intelligence back in 1904. To arrive at this theory, Spearman used a technique known as factor analysis. So what is factor analysis? It is a procedure through which the correlation of related variables are evaluated to find an underlying factor that explains this correlation. In the case of intelligence, Spearman noticed that those who did well in one area of intelligence tests, for example, mathematics, also did well in other areas, such as distinguishing pitch. In other words, there was a strong correlation between performing well in math and music, and Spearman then attributed this relationship to a central factor, that of general intelligence, which symbolizes the letter G. Spearman concluded that there is a single G factor which represents an individual's general intelligence across multiple abilities, and that a second factor, S, refers to an individual's specific ability in one particular area. Okay, look at the diagram here. You can see there the general intelligence symbolized by G. You'll find it at the center. And then you have specific abilities such as mechanical, spatial, numerical, and verbal. All of these are symbolized by letter S. Let us consider another theory. This was by Louis Thurstone. He called it primary mental abilities. In 1938, Thurstone challenged the concept of G factor. After analyzing the data from 56 different tests of mental abilities, he identified a number of primary mental abilities that compromise intelligence, as opposed to one general factor. Thurstone's model makes use of 7 primary mental abilities. So what are these 7 primary mental abilities? These are the 7 primary mental abilities: associative memory, numerical ability, perceptual speed, reasoning, spatial visualization, verbal comprehension, and the word fluency. When we say associative memory, this is the ability to memorize and recall. In numerical ability, this is the ability to solve arithmetic problems. In perceptual speed, this is the ability to see differences and similarities among objects. In reasoning, this is the ability to find the rules. In spatial visualization, this is the ability to visualize relationships. In verbal comprehension, this is the ability to define and understand words. And the last, which is the word fluency, this is the ability to produce words rapidly. These are all defined by Louis Thurstone, and they are all different from one another. Another theory to be considered is the theory of Howard Gardner, a more recent theory. He calls his theory the theory of multiple intelligences. Following the work of Thurstone, American psychologist Howard Gardner built off the idea that there are multiple forms of intelligence. He proposed that there is no single intelligence, but rather distinct and dependent multiple intelligences exist, each representing unique skills and talents relevant to a certain category. If you look at the diagram here, you'll see the 8 multiple intelligences defined by Howard Gardner. We have there linguistic, logical mathematical, spatial, musical, bodily kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and the naturalist intelligence. People who are strong in linguistic are able to use words well, both in writing and speaking. In logical mathematical intelligence, these are people who are good at reasoning, recognizing patterns, and logically analyzing problems. They have excellent problem-solving skills. People who are strong in spatial intelligence are good at visualizing things. These individuals are often good with directions as well as maps, charts, videos, People who have strong musical intelligence are good at thinking in patterns, rhythms, and sounds. So they have a strong appreciation for music and are often good at musical composition and performance. Those who have high bodily kinesthetic intelligence are said to be good at body movement, performing actions, and physical control. So people who are strong in this area tend to have excellent hand-eye coordination and dexterity. Those who have strong interpersonal intelligence are good at understanding and interacting with other people. These individuals are skilled at assessing the emotions, motivations, desires, and intentions of those around them. Individuals who are strong in intrapersonal intelligence are good at being aware of their own emotional states, feelings, and motivations. They tend to enjoy self-reflection and analysis, including daydreaming, exploring relationships with others, and assessing their personal strengths. And the last is the naturalist intelligence. This is the most recent addition to Gardner's theory and has been met with more resistance than his original 7 intelligences. According to Gardner, individuals who are in this type of intelligence are more in tune with nature and are often interested in nurturing, exploring the environment, and learning about other species. So these individuals are said to be highly aware to their environment. So those are the multiple intelligences by Howard Gardner. That ends my report. Thanks for listening.